You also mentioned the importance of listening to your body. I think that's a big thing. And what are some of the signals or signs to look or listen for that might give us an indication that something's up?
Let's take fatigue, for instance. It's not normal to be tired all the time, to be fatigued. Matter of fact, it's one of the #1 symptoms when it comes to cancer. People are tired. Your body is tired trying to fight something. You know, and we think, well, it's just I didn't sleep well, which could be the case. We're under stress. But when you're tired constantly, you know, that's not a good sign. But more importantly, I mean, the fatigue, but you have to pay attention to what your body is telling you, I think, when you're eating foods, okay? Or when you're in an environment that's new to you. So if you start having headaches, you know, you got to ask yourself, why do you have a headache? People don't get headaches.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can get headaches from stress, right? Musculoskeletal disorders.